thanks so much for tuning back in. Today I'm really excited about this recipe because one of my favorite cookies is the S'more cookies from Publix. It's a specialty item, not every store carries it, but I love when people bring them to work. It's my favorite cookie. So I found a recipe to try to duplicate it because homegirl can't handle a seasonal specialty item that I can't get my hands on all the time. So I'm hoping that this one will match up to Publix's so that I can be happy all year long. And I can share with everybody else my love for these s'mores cookies. So they're usually like a cakey type cookie and they're just so soft and moist and they're amazing. But anyway, so that's my recipe today. I hope you like it. Definitely give me a like, hit the subscription. I hope to hear any comments from you. So let's jump right in with these s'mores cookies. This was another Pinterest recipe that I found online. Again, because these s'more cookies from Publix are literally the best thing I've ever had in my life. So the first thing it wants you to do is whisk together your flour and your graham cracker and your baking powder and salt in a separate bowl and set it aside. So it calls for it calls for 1 1/2 cup of flour. So there's a cup. Little bit of eyeball in this. There's your half. And then it calls for finely crushed graham crackers, but Publix or probably any grocery store sells these automatically crushed, which you've seen in a video before. So I like to use this instead of standing there and crushing something or putting it in the Ninja and crushing it. So this also calls for 1.5 cups. And I figured that this wasn't 1.5 cups, so I've grabbed the other box just in case. Yeah, because that's about 1/2 cup there. So let's set this aside. And I think I put a scissor. I did put a scissor. I'm trying to get better at being prepared so that the videos go a little quicker and don't take quite as long and they're a little more interesting, I hope. Whereas I'm not constantly running off screen to get things. Okay, so that's 1.5 cups. So I will put that away. Okay, so there's that. And then I just need my baking powder and my salt. So it calls for 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, not baking soda. So let's throw that in there. That's great. And then it also wants 1/4 cup. 1/4 of a teaspoon, I hope I didn't say that prior, of salt. So really just a small pinch. Oh, well, I'm gonna dip a little bit back in there. And that's good. So let's move this behind me. Get that out of my way. And then it just wants it to be whisked together. So I'm really just mixing it up so it all looks the same color. Alright, so we're pretty well blended. We're good to go. So we're going to set that aside. Next things next is to go ahead and put all of your wet ingredients into the blender. Now it does say to put your chocolate chips and your marshmallows separately on another plate. I'm not even going to pull that out. I'm just going to wait for that whenever it's time to go because I don't want to dirty up a dish that I don't have to. So next thing is to cream the butter and the sugars until well combined. This called for 1/2 pound of melted butter. Let's make sure we get all of the deliciousness. All the butter. Alright, set that aside because I'll probably put my eggs in that. Move this. Alright, so then for sugars, it calls for 3/4 cup of sugar. So this little scoop is a 1/4 cup, so I'm going to do this 3 times. There's that. And then I need a, same thing, 3/4 cup of sugar. And this is a 1/2 cup, so. Here's 1/2. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and cream these together. All right, that's creamed together. Next, we're gonna throw in our eggs and our vanilla. So it calls for 2 large eggs. Here's 1. Here's 2. And then vanilla. I should have grabbed a towel. Okay. And then it wants an entire teaspoon of vanilla. And then you just blend that up. Alright, that's pretty well blended. Next, you're going to throw in all of the dry ingredients with it. So I'm going to set my whisk aside. There we go. Alright, so then from there we need to put these on cookie sheets. It says to drop 2-ounce cookies, and then you just bake it. Then once it comes out of the oven, it says to bake it on 350 for about 8 minutes. Then it says you need to push 4 marshmallows and 3 chocolate chip pieces into each cookie. I can tell you right now, I'm probably not going to do that. I'm probably going to put a lot more than that. Because the chocolate and the marshmallow are literally the best parts. Then once you do that, you put it back in the oven. So let me get my cookie sheet. So I like to use a ice cream scoop anytime I do cookies because it's just a lot faster. And I'm never really concerned about the shape because the shape doesn't really matter. People are going to eat it regardless. And plus it almost always turns out to be round anyway. And my cookies are never consistent on the size. To me, that's okay. So, here's our first set. Perfect. There. Okay. So again, these go in the oven for 8 minutes at 350. I always bake them one at a time. I know it takes longer, but I like that only one pan is in there at a time. I don't know. So yeah. Okay. Okay, so now that it's out of the oven, we're gonna press the marshmallows into it and the chocolate chips. I kind of forgot about this step, so I was doing other things. Maybe do this. Alright, well, that's not working real well. Alright. Yeah, you just gotta push it in there. The cookie looks sad. Alright. All right, y'all, so these are done. They're out of the oven and they look delicious. They are a little cookie dough-ish, a little raw. I did it for the same temperature they told me to, so they probably could have been a little longer, but they look good. They're good, they just need to be in a little longer. So maybe instead of the 8 minutes that she called for, I actually put it in for 10 minutes, even though she said 8 minutes. Maybe put it in for 12 minutes because of the mixture, I guess. But they're still really good, they're still delicious. I also think Publix sprinkles a little bit of sugar on theirs, or they dip them in a sugar or something, because there's always some sort of coating of sugar. So I think maybe next time I make them, which I definitely will make these again, put a little bit of sugar too. But yeah, it's a success, even though it's super doughy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys will go home, or if you're already home, and try this recipe out yourself. I think it turned out really good, and I appreciate every view, every like, every subscription, everything you guys do for me. Love you guys, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.